Okay, guys. Now, you already analyzed and checked the pages from your learning logbook. I just want you to remember that all the answers you can write them down in an old notebook, recycled notebook, or white sheet of paper or recycled paper. The answers you can write it there. Remember to put the name, date, the number of the exercise, and the title, the topic, etc. Okay. If you're working on your learning logbook, then perfect. You just have to write down the answers. If on the learning logbook there's activities that says answer the following questions, well, those questions answer it in an old notebook or blank paper. Okay. When I say notebook activities, also notebook activities, imagine that you have your math or quick language or clever writing notebook, okay? Notebook activities refer to notebook activities, and you can do them in white sheet of paper or old notebook, okay? So now let's start by reading this yellow information right here located on page 117, and it says children's and adolescents' rights were established in the Convention on Rights of the Child. This document is part of an international treaty that began in the United Nations. The United Nations considers the family to be the fundamental group in society. Included in the duties of a family is the protection of all of its members, especially children. When these duties are carried out, children are provided with the protection and assistance they need to be able to fully develop. The Convention on the Rights of the Child states that a child needs protection, special care before and after birth, and to be free from discrimination. For these reasons, we must take positive measures to promote children's rights. The UN considers all people under the age of 18 as children, unless under the laws of their country they are considered adults at an earlier age. The Convention on the Rights of the Child establishes a new perspective on childhood. On one hand, it creates rules and laws to ensure protection. On the other, it recognizes that children are not the property of their parents, nor are they the defenseless beneficiaries of charity. They are viewed as human beings and holders of their own rights. This means that children are considered individuals who are members of a family and a community, with their own rights and responsibilities that are appropriate for their age and maturity level. Recognizing children's rights allows us to see that children are an integral part of society. So if you notice in this yellow information, it tells you clearly that all children have the right to feel free, the right for an opinion, the right to be careless, to be care after birth, okay, or before birth. It depends. Children to not be discriminated by something, okay? So that means that this UN, the United Nation, protects the children's rights. They promote it in a positive measurement and always defending the children's right, okay? So now take a look on the first exercise that is below this yellow information on page 117. Exercise number 1 says, complete the follow diagram with some characteristics of the three entities responsible for the protection of children's rights. Okay, before that, I want you to draw what protection means to you. Okay, what is a protection? What is protection for you? How do you feel protected? Once you're finished, you have to answer these diagrams on the family, the state, and the children themselves. You have to answer depending on the responsibilities of the protection of children's rights. For this activity, I will give you a time of 5 minutes, okay? But before that, I want you to observe and repeat the keywords that are located in this page. Adoptive, adoptive, charity, charity, defenseless, 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 disrespect, disrespect, entity, entity, maternity level, maternity leave, maternity leave. Now I will give you 5 minutes to do the activity, and then together we're going to analyze and check our answers. first one says complete the follow diagram with some characteristics of the three entities responsible for the protection of children's rights. So I hope that you already answered these three diagrams, okay? And I hope that you answer with the information that we just read. Now, let's start with the first one is family. According to my answers, this is what I have. I have that family provides protection and the chance to develop fully, okay? The family gives you protection, okay? It helps you develop fully in a new society or community, okay? This is my answers. I don't know what you have, but I hope you have something similar. Let's continue on the other one. The state, what does it make? The state makes rules and laws to ensure protection. Dot comma provides education. So the state, like the government, makes the rules and laws to ensure your protection, okay? The rules like to play, the law that you have to have fun, have education. It provides you education, free education depending on the country, okay? It gives you the essential resources or materials that will help you develop throughout your education. Now, the last one says children themselves. Well, the children themselves, they are not the property. They aren't, let's put it like contraction. They aren't property. You're not the property of no one. No one you're not the property from no one, okay? You're yourself from here and from China. And you have the responsibilities and rights. You have, okay, they, because I'm referring to you, they have responsibilities and rights, okay? You yourself, you're not the property of no one. You have responsibilities and rights. Your responsibility as a child, since you start kindergarten, is just to go to school and learn all what the teacher or learn what your parents show you, okay? That is your only and major essential responsibility that you have, okay? Under the age of 18 years old, okay? Let's continue. Now we're going to work on page 118, okay? Before this, I need you to read and scan this page. Observe the information, the bold keywords that this yellow information shows you. Also observe the second exercise that you have to do according to the state protection, okay? So I will give you, for this activity, I will give you some time, okay, to observe it. But before that, we're going to read this yellow information that it says, rights apply to every child without exception, and it is the duty of the state to protect children in 4 fundamental ways. So if you observe over here, here are the 4 fundamental ways, okay, that the state established for you to have the rights. Number one, it says eliminate discrimination. Children should not suffer because of their race, gender, language, religion, nationality, social class, ethnicity, and disability. You have the right to not be discriminated, okay? If you're a child that you're from another religion and you're studying from another place, you don't have to be discriminated. If you're a child that your skin color is way different from the others, you don't have to be discriminated, okay? Everyone is free and everyone reserves respect and the liberty of expression, okay? The second fundamental way is that the state laws should take into consideration the protection of the children and avoid doing things that could harm their development. Okay? Number three, the principal authorities in a country should promote the progress and the protection of the children, and in doing so, ensure their full physically, spiritual, and moral and social development. 4. Encourage type of participation which allow children to express their opinions. Everyone has the right to share their opinions. Even though they're right or wrong opinions, you have to share your opinions, okay, with the rest of the people. Now, also, you have the right to feel protection wherever you go, okay? Physically, if you don't have several part of your body, then you don't have to be discriminated. You have to develop socially, okay? Avoiding and ignoring all those mad comments, okay? One of the newest laws in Mexico that protects the family is the maternity leave law. It established that a woman is entitled to 84 paid days, 12 weeks, during the last part of her pregnancy. That covers 6 weeks before and after the baby is born. However, women can also opt to take 1 week of prenatal leave and use the other 11 weeks as postnatal leave. Fathers are entitled to take 5 paid days or postnatal leave. The same regulation applies to adoptive parents, but adopting mothers are only entitled to take 6 weeks once their child has arrived home. Yes, this is what you see when your mom or dad has a baby, and for example, I don't know if you have for those who have a brother or sister, maybe you saw that your mommy after she gave birth, she had to not work for 3 months or 1 week, depending on her job, because the job sometimes allows you to stay after birth. That means postnatal leave, staying some weeks, okay, for you can rest. And also the father, they give some jobs to fathers, they give them like 5 days after the woman, after his wife gives birth, for he can stay with her and take care of the baby. After those 5 days for the father, he has to go back and work, and she has to stay at home. And depending on the days that the job gives the mother, then she can go back to work or either stay after her postnatal leave. So yes, this is a law that happens in several countries. I mean, if you have a brother or a sister, maybe you understand what I mean, because you see that your mom stays at home taking care of the baby, and later she goes back to work as normal, okay? Also, when the mother is like about to have 1 week before the 9 weeks, then they give her 1 week or 1 month before her birth, before she gives birth. She can go to her house and stay at home and not work, because the last weeks when of pregnancy, it's like a little bit more delicate for women to continue working. That's why the job, or the company gives the mother this type of restness with not allow them to work some weeks. Continue. So this is the page that you have to analyze it, okay? I will give you 5 minutes to observe it, and then do exercise number 2 in 5 minutes, okay? And here you have to write an example of each of the fundamental ways the state protects your children, okay? Just write down the examples according to the information that we read, okay? Eliminates discrimination. How do you eliminate discrimination? Okay, or what is eliminate discrimination? What is that? Avoid harm to develop. What is that? Promote progress. In which way they promote progress? Okay. Encourage children's participation. How can your participation be encouraged? Okay, I will give you 5 minutes. okay, according to my examples. The examples that I found out and eliminates discrimination will be that children shouldn't suffer because of their race, gender, language. So it will be, let me write it down. It will be children shouldn't suffer because of their race. It's just an example. You can write more, okay? The other one says avoids harm to development. And avoids harm to development will be the state establish several laws. The state established several laws to consider protection to children. Okay. The other one is promotes progress. When they promote progress, it's because authorities ensure. Here will be authorities ensures a full protection of moral or social development. Okay, it could be more if you want. Okay, and the last one refers to encourage children's participation. How? By allowing them to show their opinions. For example, when you answer something in the classroom, you have to feel free of sharing your opinions. The rest of your classmates shouldn't laugh because of your opinions. You have the free of right of expression. Okay. Now let's continue.